Alright, I've seen this debate going around. R9 versus Cristiano Ronaldo. And I saw this post regarding like comparing the two, who was actually better. So let's see what goes down, man. Let's get it. To me, even though I'm a Messi fan, I don't think anybody comes close when it comes to Messi and Ronaldo. So let's see what today's not about Messi, it's about Ronaldo. Let's get it
Was
started.
Messi and Ronaldo together?
Ronaldo phenomenon. Even now, he's the kind of player in 20 years' time.
Salta Ferran, il tiro gol,
Yeah.
Cristiano, when we saw Hughes, we've never seen anything like it. I've never seen a lad with so much skill, so much personality to go with it, braveness.
Yeah, like Cristiano Ronaldo is genuinely the type of player that like was built in a lab for real. Like when you look at him, bro, like his presence on the field, like he's gonna make a difference on the field no matter what. Like he's always there.
He's beaten the defense, he draws Valdez, Cristiano Ronaldo!
Ronaldo. R9.
The real Ronaldo.
The real one.
The real one.
Yeah, growing up. Yeah.
He's the
How
goal.
many Ronaldo did you know when you were growing up?
No, only one. What I'm saying is to call him the real Ronaldo.
Yeah,
Now
always.
we've got Ronaldo
In the game,
tomorrow.
people will say the real one. Cristiano. Ronaldo is R9. Cristiano.
Oh come on, Henry. I know you're a Messi fan. You used to play with Messi, bro. But I thought you would have picked Cristiano Ronaldo over Ronaldo or 9.
It's Cristiano Ronaldo.
There's a debate in football that somehow never ends. You've seen it everywhere. TikTok edits, heated comments, podcasts, old school fans arguing with young ones. It's the same question every time. Ronaldo Nazario or Cristiano Ronaldo? R9 or CR7? But what's funny is, the more you listen to it, the more you realise that most people aren't even having the same argument. Some focus on talent, some focus on stats, some talk about their prime, others talking about longevity. So today I want to do something different. Instead of asking who is better, I want to break down why the debate is so misunderstood. Because once you understand that, the whole conversation suddenly makes sense.
Okay, I like that. Eras. Okay. Even though I thought that R9 played in a more difficult era, but what I'm gonna say is, back in the days, football, players used to get away with a lot of shit, bro. Like, it wasn't even football at this point, bro. They used to get away with a lot of shit, bro. And Cristiano Ronaldo, bro, even after turning 30, playing with that like new format, VAR and whatever, this dude still scored more goals after turning 30 before he was 30. So it doesn't really matter for him if it was the old era or that era. Cristiano Ronaldo would have still been the same fucking Cristiano Ronaldo. I don't care what nobody says, bro.
Let's start with the most overlooked part in this entire argument, and that's the context. And once you hear it, you'll understand how comparing these two players directly is a lot harder than you might think. Ronaldo Nazario arrived in a version of football that barely resembles the modern game. This was the mid-90s, where defenders were allowed to get away with almost everything. Tackles
Exactly what I was fucking
from
saying.
behind weren't automatically red cards. The pitches weren't perfect. Strikers didn't have 10 cameras protecting their ankles. And sports science, honestly, it's nowhere near what players have access to today. Injuries like the ones R9 eventually suffered from were often career-ending. Not just take a year out and return stronger, more like you'll never be the same player ever again. Now compare that to the football Cristiano Ronaldo relished in. By the time he reached Manchester United, football fans have already shifted into a more scientific era. Training was monitored, diet was personalised, recovery methods were far more advanced. The idea of playing until 38 at a high level wasn't common, but it was possible. And Cristiano didn't just benefit from that environment, he squeezed everything out of it. He pushed the boundaries of what a footballer could get out of his body.
God damn.
From that environment, he squeezed everything out of it.
Oh my god. Got my boy doing the splits. Got my boy doing the
Cristiano didn't just benefit
splits.
from that environment. He squeezed everything
Jesus
out of
Christ.
it. He pushed the boundaries
Oh. Got my
of
boy
what a
doing the
footballer could
splits.
get out of his
Whee!
body. And this difference, these two completely different worlds, is the first reason the debate gets messy. R9 and CR7 didn't just play in two different eras, they played in different conditions, different cultures, and different types of football. One was surviving a jungle, the other was dominating a laboratory. But it becomes even more complicated when you look at how people talk about R9's peak. And honestly, this is where the debate really explodes. Because R9's best years weren't just impressive, they were outrageous. They were the kind of performances that made world-class defenders look like they were trying to chase a ghost. At Barcelona, he scored 47 goals in one season. and half of them felt like solo missions. He would take
47 goals in one season. Okay.
the ball, turn, and suddenly he was gone. Defenders bounced off him, goalkeepers collapsed, and the crowd reacting like they were watching something
Yeah, when it comes to stats, bro, like Ronaldo is obviously like the better player.
impossible. And he did all of this at just 20 years old. Then you add the 1998 World Cup, where he dominated the entire
Yeah, that's true.
tournament before that bizarre, still unexplained situation before the final.
But doesn't he have like 2 World Cups?
And then the comeback in 2002, where he returned from 2 career-threatening injuries and won the Golden Boot and the World Cup. That kind of arc doesn't just give you great stats, it creates a myth. This is the reason R9's peak completely shifts the debate. His best version is so high that fans almost ignore the rest of his career. They take a small window, 2 or 3 seasons, and put it side by side with Cristiano's entire 20-year output.
Yeah, exactly, bro. That's what you don't understand, right? Like, bro, Cristiano Ronaldo been doing this shit, bro. He's been doing this shit, bro. Like, Cristiano Ronaldo, you can compare him to R9, like 9 versions of Cristiano Ronaldo to R9, bro. That's how good Cristiano Ronaldo is. He's been doing this everywhere he goes. He fucking dominates, bro. Bro, that's what I'm saying. His presence on the field, bro. Like, this is coming from a Messi thing, guys. Like, you sometimes you need to be realistic. I'm not talking about like the end of Cristiano Ronaldo's career, bro. I'm talking about him, like Cristiano Ronaldo, bro. Like, I'm not even gonna say prime since he has so many prime years, bro. I'm just talking about Cristiano Ronaldo at this point, bro. Like, I don't know where this debate came from.
And when you do that, of
Right.
course the debate breaks down. One side argues peak, the other argues longevity. Neither one is wrong, they're just answering different questions.
And one thing is, I'm gonna say this real quick. I know I'll be talking a lot, but just because a player is like, let's say, more enjoyable to watch, doesn't make that player better than the other player. Just so I can say that, right?
Cristiano introduces a different kind of confusion. Because if R9's peak was all about a short burst of brilliance, Cristiano's career is about something we almost never see in football.
Yeah.
Consistency at the highest level for an absurd amount of time. Cristiano didn't just stay relevant, he stayed
15
elite.
plus
He changed
seasons,
roles as
bro.
he aged, but the output never stopped. From a winger full of stepovers,
Yeah.
to a goal-scoring machine at
Yeah.
Real Madrid, to an experienced striker later on. He adapted to every stage of his career, and at
Exactly.
every time people thought he might slow down, he found a way to reinvent himself.
Exactly,
And this leads
bro.
us to one of the biggest problems in the entire conversation: the way people use stats. Cristiano's numbers are ridiculous. The goals, the Champions League records, the international tally, nobody touches them. If you look purely at the numbers, the debate ends quickly. But the numbers don't tell the whole story. They don't show the fact that R9 was operating in a completely different football environment. They don't show the effect of the multiple knee injuries in an era with limited recovery tools. They don't show how defenders were allowed to challenge strikers back then.
I know, right? But one thing I have to say, bro, Cristiano Ronaldo worked for this, bro. This dude is always in shape. It's like even in his off seasons, he's working. I remember back in COVID, everybody was getting fucking overweight, but this dude was still putting in the work, bro. Like, what you guys don't understand, right? I get it. Defenders were getting away with like more stuff. True. But also were attackers too. Like, they used to get away with more offside or stuff like that, which is also true. So I can say Cristiano Ronaldo could have been benefited from that as well. That's why like we can't really compare 2 eras. But when you look at fucking Cristiano Ronaldo, like longevity, the way he takes care of his body, diet, off season, it doesn't matter, bro. This dude is always in shape. But R9, bro, off season, this dude used to get fat, bro. Like, I know they said it was like some disease or whatever, but you can't control your diet, bro. It's all about your diet. All those Brazilians, that's how they always fucking end up. They start really good, and then off season, all they do is eat shit, get fat, and their career fucking over. I don't care if you're injured, bro. You still gotta act like you're a player to like speed boost your recovery. But nah, all they wanna do is just party, eat, blah 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 blah.
On the other hand,
That's in their culture.
That's the full story either. R9's clips make him look like the greatest footballer of all time because visually he was unbelievable. But highlights ignore the fact that his career was inconsistent due to injuries, and they ignore the reality that maintaining a level for 20 years requires a different type of greatness.
Exactly.
So you now get the situation where one side is arguing with stats and the other is arguing with the eye test. And both sides feel like they're winning, but they're not arguing with the same metric, so they're never going to agree. Another part people overlook is how differently these two players shaped football. R9 changed how strikers play. He was the blueprint for the modern explosive forward who combines technique, power and agility. He inspired a generation of players from Thierry Henry to Ibrahimovic to Mbappe. His impact was stylistic. Cristiano changed something else entirely. How players train, how they eat, how they recover, how they view longevity.
Exactly. Which is what you need to do in order to stay at the highest level for a long period of time. Diet. It's not only about talent, bro. You gotta work for this, bro. It's not only about talent and this and boom. Bro, look at Neymar's career, dog, bro. Look what happens, bro. Like, you guys need to understand, bro. To stay at the top for a long period of time, you need to take care of your body, bro. 24/7. Just like Cristiano Ronaldo did his whole career.
He made
Bro.
professionalism in football the standard. He made discipline part of the brand.
Exactly.
It's not about just the playing style, it's also about the lifestyle.
Yep.
So again, you're comparing two different types of legacies, and depending on which one you value, you end up with a completely different answer. And then you have the myths. These are the parts of the debate that sound good, but fall apart the moment you unpack them. The idea that R9, if he never got injured, he'd automatically be the greatest ever. We don't know that.
Yeah,
He's had the
exactly.
talent, but longevity requires mentality, discipline,
Yeah,
and adaptation. The idea that Cristiano was carried by super teams, that ignores how many Champions League moments he delivered by himself.
Come on, bro. Come on, guys. He was not carried by freaking super talent teams, bro. This dude, everywhere he goes, bro, he's like the difference maker, dog. Like, he literally is the difference maker. Bro, come on. I don't like those arguments, bro. Like, what the heck are people saying, though?
Misunderstanding comes from something very simple. People aren't debating one question, they're debating several questions without realizing it. What's more impressive? Peak or longevity? Style or statistics? Natural talent or professional discipline? Influence on the pitch or influence off it? Your answer depends on entirely what you value. R9 represents the highest level a striker has ever reached in a short burst. Cristiano.
No, I don't know, bro. I don't wanna say this, bro. No. I'm gonna say R9 is definitely like the better player to watch that excites you, but that does not mean he's the better player, bro. Like, if I were to pick a 9 for my team, bro, I would pick Cristiano Ronaldo, eyes closed, dog. Like, guaranteed goals, guaranteed wins, guaranteed. Like, he's guaranteed, bro. Like, Cristiano Ronaldo is him, dog. Like,
represents the highest
come
level
on.
a forward has ever sustained in a full career. Those two ideas can both be true. They don't cancel each other out. So maybe the debate isn't wrong. Maybe it's just incomplete. But once you understand the context, the peaks, the longevity, the influence and the myths, the whole thing becomes clear. The reason this debate never ends is because people are debating different definitions of greatness. And once you realize that, the conversation becomes a lot more interesting. Because the real question isn't who's better, it's what does greatness actually mean to you?
okay, exactly.
When people say R9 had the higher peak, they're usually talking about a few highlight clips or a handful of games that they remember.
Exactly.
If we're being honest, that's not actually what peak is. A peak isn't just a moment. A peak is a period where you're the best player in the world
the whole
over
season.
and over again.
Yeah.
Not for months, but for years on end. And when you look at it in that way, R9's peak wasn't just short, it was kind of microscopic. One great season at Barcelona, a great stretch at Inter before the injuries, then the 2002 World Cup where he was playing smart, efficient football, but not the explosive monster from 96 to 98. That's incredible, but it's not a multi-year peak. Now look at Cristiano.
Yeah.
From 2011 to 2018, he wasn't just good. He was putting up numbers and performances that we will never see again. Champions League top scorer almost every single year.
Yeah.
10, 12, 15 knockout goals in a single campaign.
Oh my God.
League titles, Ballon d'Ors, and doing this all while sharing an era with the greatest competition the sport has ever seen. Now, if you define peak properly, not as just the best day of your life, but as the best era of your life, then Cristiano's peak dwarfs R9's easily.
Yes. I definitely agree with that.
One lasted nearly a decade, the other lasted barely a season and a half.
Yeah.
And this is where the debate shifts, because you're not comparing fireworks to fireworks, you're comparing a spark to a supernova.
Yeah. Makes no fucking sense, bro.
There's another angle that people almost never bring up, and honestly, This is where the debate gets one-sided pretty fast. Big game scalability. How does your game translate when the stakes are at its highest, when the opponent's elite, and when there's no space, no time, and no second chances?
Come on. Why is that even like? Why are we even considering asking that question? It's definitely Cristiano Ronaldo. What are we talking about
R9,
here?
for all his brilliance, doesn't actually have a big Champions League resume. No iconic knockout games, no legendary semi-finals, no finals where he...
Bro, it's just mostly good to watch. I mean, he's great to watch, but comparing him to Cristiano Ronaldo is absurd, bro.
defines
Come
the entire
on,
world.
guys.
At club level in Europe, he was great. But
Do you guys seriously hate Cristiano Ronaldo that much? Bro, come on,
the
man.
deciding force. Part of that was injuries, part of that was timing. But part of it was just the reality. His game wasn't built for tight, controlled, high-pressure football the way Cristiano's was. Cristiano thrived on it. He lived for it. The Atletico Madrid hat-trick.
Bro, I remember that game, right? He's always doing this against Atletico Madrid. Bro, Atletico Madrid is the team that is one of the hardest teams to score on based on how they play. They literally play Aram ball. But Cristiano Ronaldo comes in the Champions League. They were 2-0 down in the first leg. He comes back, drops a hat-trick on them boys, bro. In a seriously packed game. He comes, drop a hat-trick on them boys. Not everybody can do this, bro. Like, this game was so close where there's no space. But he makes the space. Header. Fucking anyhow the ball is coming. Bro, he's literally the difference freaking maker as a 9. He's the best 9 to ever play football to me. I don't care what nobody says, bro. Longevity, peak, stats, anything that you need from him, he gives it to you, bro. I don't care, bro. What the hell?
Final goals. The 17-goal Champions League season, still the record by the way.
17 goals in one Champions League season. That is what like more strikers are doing the whole season, like compared to all the games combined. He did that in one Champions League season, bro.
These
Oh
are
my
highlights,
God.
These are eras. These are years where every time the biggest games came around, Cristiano was the one carrying the heaviest load.
Exactly, all the
During that
times.
period at club level. And here's the part that really separates them. Scalability. Cristiano's game scaled everywhere. Different managers, different leagues, different systems.
But
and the output
somehow,
barely changed.
yeah, exactly. Different managers, different leagues, different teams, but somehow he always adapts. Bro, that is what you call a great player, bro.
R9 had to be the focal point. He needed a team built around him for those devastating transitions. He needed space. Cristiano could operate in tight systems, possession systems, counter-attacks, crosses, half spaces. He adapted every
Look
time.
at this.
This is why, when you step back, you realize something simple but uncomfortable. R9 was a moment. Cristiano was a movement. One
Exactly.
gave us a snapshot of brilliance, the other gave us a full resume.
Bro,
R9 is often
years and years and years and years of greatness, bro. Compared to like a short burst. Come on, man. Why are we doing this? Why are we downgrading Cristiano Ronaldo like that, bro? Even at that last World Cup, I don't like how people was talking about him like that, man. The things that he did for that Portugal team, bro. Got them the fucking Euros, bro. We were not even talking about Portugal, bro. But he got them a Euros, bro. Like, he tried, and he got a Nations League against Spain. I know people will be saying that, oh, it's blah, 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 but still, bro. Come on, man. You cannot diminish him. You can't do that. You just can't do that, bro. Like, I get it. He's older now. They should have used him. Like, they should have gave him like a different role at the World Cup. But let's stop talking bad about him, bro. Like, this dude literally dropped all his years to us, making us watch this incredible game of football. More people watch football. Like, we should cherish this dude, bro. The same way we cherish Messi. The same way we do. But I don't get where all the hate is coming from. I really don't. Come on, man.
gettable, but Cristiano is undeniable. And that's the real difference.
Their
What
opponents.
really makes this debate fascinating isn't just how R9 and Cristiano played, it's the players they played against. Because the strength of your era defines the weight of your greatness. R9 faced brilliant individual defenders, guys like Maldini, Thuram,
I fucking love Maldini, bro.
Cannavaro, Nesta. But football back then was something more than just beating the man in front of you. If you got past one defender, you were basically through on goal. Tactical shape wasn't rigid, pressing systems weren't coordinated, the game left more space for explosive, instinctive forwards. Cristiano dealt with a completely different kind of opponent. Not just great defenders, but great units. Simeone's Atletico, Pep's
Exactly what I was saying. Exactly what I was talking about, right?
Barcelona, Conte's Juventus, Mourinho's Inter and Chelsea, Klopp's Dortmund, Tuchel's PSG. Cristiano dominated in an era where defenses didn't rely on one superstar. They relied on 10 players moving in sync. And somehow, he still found goals, still found moments, still found a way to be the difference maker in football.
Yeah. So you guys really think if Cristiano Ronaldo was in R9's era, he wouldn't have done like better than R9? Basically, like the way that R9 was playing, like comparing, like if Cristiano was in his era, bro. Like listen to what he just said, right? They relied more on like individual like defenses, like one player. If you get past one player, you're throwing goal, which is basically true. Because I watched several highlights, like watching Football Legends back in the day. All they do is throw themselves at you. Like there's no like tactical, I say like change throughout the team, bro. There's no tactical defenses, bro. It's basically 1v1s. But now in that era, bro, you can get by one player, 2-3 already at you. 4 already at you, bro. High pressing your ass, more tactical movement. Like the strikers are the first line of defenses. Like everybody's moving as a unit now, so it's harder to score. But look at what he's doing. And as the game is evolving, this dude is evolving as well. But after 30, this dude dropped more goals before 30. I don't care how many times I say that. No.
The quality of your rivals matter. R9 embarrassed defenders. Cristiano embarrassed entire systems.
Yeah.
That's a distinction people rarely consider. If you zoom out and look at the systems they played in, you start to realize how differently their careers were shaped. R9 thrived in transitional football. Give him space, give him grass to run into, and the game was over.
Exactly.
Barcelona played a fast, vertical style that suited him. Inter relied heavily on counterattacks where his acceleration destroyed defenders. He was a chaos weapon, the player who didn't fit the system but broke it with individual genius.
Yeah.
Cristiano evolved into the system himself. At Manchester United, he worked under Ferguson, who built a team around fluid, fast, wide play. At Real Madrid, he was under Mourinho, Ancelotti and Zidane. 3 completely different tactical identities, and still delivered numbers no one would ever touch.
Exactly.
Even at Juventus, where the system was rigid and slow, he still found 30 plus goals a season.
Bro, nobody is doing that now, bro. Besides like the Haalands and Mbappes, bro. Who's doing this? And at the age he was doing that, bro, he's getting the same amount of goals as these top strikers. Oh my god, guys. You guys just I don't know. I hate the disrespect. Stop disrespecting him. Bro, stop it. Just stop it.
9 needed a system that created chaos. Cristiano created his own success inside systems built on order. You can drop Cristiano into almost any team from 2005 to 2020 and he'll guarantee output. And you can't say that about many forwards in football history.
You can't say that about anybody. You can't say that about anybody. Besides him and Messi, that's it. Bro, he's literally the only 9 that can play from any, like you said, from 2005 to 2020. Nobody is benching him. He's gonna have a performance against any team, playing for any team.
Including R9.
Oh my god. The what? I didn't even read that. The supporting cast.
Okay. We'll rarely explore is the supporting cast. R9's Barcelona season was iconic, but the team wasn't built to dominate Europe the way modern super teams are. At Inter, he often carried the entire attack. Brazil gave him the world-class supporting pieces, but at club level, his environments were inconsistent. Cristiano's story is the opposite. At United, he grew inside a winning culture but didn't rely on it, because when the time came, he became the driving force. At Real Madrid, yes, he had elite teammates, but that cuts both ways. You can hide in a great team, or you can define it. Cristiano defined it. He was the reason those Champions League runs felt inevitable. But the most important part is this. Cristiano has proven he doesn't need perfect teammates. He just needs moments, and he manufactures them himself. R9 needed the game to flow in a certain way. Cristiano forced the game to bend towards his strengths, no matter the manager, system, or teammates.
W video. W freaking video, bro. WVD. Like I was saying, guys, bro. Ronaldo ain't nobody like from the past or like R9 or whatever, bro, can compare to him. Cristiano Ronaldo, you are him. You and Messi are like this. Like off my freaking screen. Anybody else? I don't know what to say, bro.